Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all of these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Hello, hello?
Oh, what happened to the end of it?
There he is.
Where's the end? So, hello. Happy Mastery Monday. Happy all the things. Gina Ricci, who do we got?
Sean, we have Mr. Rupert Megnot from Florida with us today, founder, chief experience officer, I love that, at Burnout Gain Ventures. They've raised more than $56K and have $1 billion team, dozens of startup projects in his pipeline, a lifetime of entrepreneurial experiences. Please join me in welcoming Rupert Megnot to The Real Raw.
Rupert. Happy Mastery Monday, Rupert. How are you?
I'm doing just peachy. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, peachiness is in the house. What is your fun fact, Rupert?
My fun fact? I was a tennis pro at 14.
Whoa.
So where'd you play growing up?
Played in Detroit and Virginia, both. And when I went out, played Big Ten for Michigan State. So, we had a great game this weekend. But,
yes, Michigan State beating Michigan.
Yeah.
Moving up to jumping Ohio State in the polls in the process, did you not?
Yep. So, but yeah, it was fun.
That's awesome. One of the kids I coached in club baseball is currently Jake Dinner. He's a pitcher at Michigan, which is obviously an arch rival of yours at the Michigan State Spartans.
It's all good. We're all Michiganians, yeah.
That's it. And when did your tennis career come to a conclusion, Rupert?
Came to a conclusion when I came down here in '86. Yeah. Go figure. I played more tennis in Michigan than I have in Florida.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Michigan is not a hotbed of tennis talent. Is that fair, Rupert?
I don't know. Compared to my experience, it is. So.
It is really okay. Yeah, I'm not a. I played Division I college baseball at Columbia University, so I'm not a tennis aficionado. But I would think California, Florida, but I guess Detroit, you're representing.
I go to the National Tennis Center, which is near here. Well, it's about 40 minutes or 35 minutes away, but and it's usually empty, and it's like, come on, guys, let's play.
Right. Well, Rupert, it's an honor to have you here, and thanks for your time today.
Sure, my pleasure.
Yeah, G Money. We got Rupert, tennis at 14 on the pro circuit, and who we got?
From one pro to another, Sean and Bella, we have Mr. Nick Turnbull with us today. He played in the NFL for the Bears and the Bengals. He's an outside rep for one of the top 2 medical device sales in the country. And he started a nonprofit for helping provide team uniforms for underprivileged kids. And he's with us today. Please join me in welcoming Nick Turnbull to The Real Raw. Hello, hello.
Nick, welcome to the party, but I have a problem with you, Nick.
What is it?
Yeah, dude, like my Jets, we need top draft picks, and the Bengals had to let our Jets win yesterday, dude. Like, we're trying to get the #1 draft pick. What's going on, Nick?
Listen, you guys, every year the Jets are pretty close to getting the #1 draft pick. You guys decide to win the last game of the year every year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Nick, I know it was like heartbreaking and disastrous a year or 2 ago. So, Nick, it's an honor and privilege to have you here. And, brother, what position did you play in the NFL?
I played corner and safety.
Nice. Very good. What was your 40 time?
I ran a 4.35 multiple times. Consistently, I was more of a low 4.4 guy.
Very nice. What would you run the 40 in today, Nick?
Woo.
That's not fair.
An 8 flat.
An 8.0 is in the building. That is amazing. And what is your fun fact, my friend?
Well, now that you guys know I played professional sports, my next fun fact is I actually modeled in GQ and Vogue magazine before.
Well, that's amazing. That's super fun. And so how is like life going today? What's the mission and vision for Nick going forward?
I'm just reaching the beginning of my mission. Once I stopped playing, it was a long transition period for me, going from being a professional athlete, trying to figure out where I'm going to fit in the real world, because I didn't have to worry about the real world right after school. I had to worry about it after I was done playing.
Absolutely.
So I'm still just going in the right direction.
No, well, awesome, brother. A friend has become, I use the word friend advisedly, a new friend, Tony Richardson, that helped us do some incredible things for the American Foundation for the Blind. Tony works on all NFL players now, transitioning out. He was, I think, a 17 or 18-year NFL veteran with the Chiefs, the Jets, and a couple other teams. But we've had beautiful conversations about the complexity of that transition process, but you seem to be making it very successfully. So congratulations on all that, and it's an honor to have you here, Nick.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So we got Nick, we got Rupert, we got pros in the building today. Actually, it'll be interesting to see if like Rupert like starts launching tennis balls at Nick, and Nick is a cornerback with his agility and speed. So instead of like having an influence challenge, maybe we could have like agility challenge. Maybe tomorrow. So Gina, who do we have as the judges?
Well, but wait, Sean, because we also have a 2-time academic All-American in football, 1992 NFL draft pick, Harvard-trained orthopedic surgeon, Mr. Patrick Tyrant's with us here today. So please join me in welcoming Patrick to The Real Raw.
Let's hear for Patrick. The H-bomb has been dropped in the house, Patrick. So where did you do your undergrad work?
University of Nebraska. So I had the great opportunity to play my college football for Tom Osborne.
Oh my God, the powerhouse! The Huskers are in the house.
When they were relevant. So the house is on fire about now.
So Patrick, what position did you play?
Linebacker, contact. Nice. I love the contact.
Nice.
This was back when the option.
Is this Irving Fryer time frame or no?
A little bit after Irving Fryer. Before
Mike Rozier?
Yeah, so late 80s, early 90s. Deion Sanders was at Florida State. Barry Sanders was at Okie State. Aikman was at UCLA. Those were some of the guys I played against in college.
Dude, that's awesome. And then you ended up training at Harvard?
I did. I was a bit of a nerd and very much focused on school and football. And playing linebacker was okay because I could. Again, my teammates didn't tease me a whole lot, but I played my last college football game in Orlando in the Citrus Bowl, and then the following morning I started my medical school interviews. I was accepted to Harvard Medical School, and then 3 weeks later selected in the NFL draft and was there for a better part of the season. So we were known as the Lambs. They lost 10 straight games, and John Robinson was coach, Jim Everett quarterback, and so I decided to go ahead and go to medical school and start that career.
Well, that is some awesome stuff, brother. And it is such an accomplishment. I mean, to make it to the NFL, first of all, second of all, to go to Harvard Medical School, truly extraordinary. We have fun and drop the H-bomb because I played at Columbia. And when we play at Harvard, when we would go there, they would chant safety school at us. So going to Columbia, which is a top 5 often right now, number 2 undergrad, and you literally go to Harvard and folks, they would chant safety school at us at Columbia. So immense respect for the H-bomb being dropped, Patrick, and for all that you've done.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
And John, can I share my fun fact? Is I was almost a Harvard grad for Halloween. But I couldn't quite do it because my sister has a Harvard sweatshirt because she thinks it's cool to like wear a Harvard sweatshirt, although she didn't go to Harvard. So she thought like I should wear it. But I was so afraid that like I might get the axe with Sean Callagy that I didn't do it, Patrick. I couldn't even bring myself to wear the Harvard sweatshirt. But I was almost a Harvard grad for Halloween yesterday.
Oh, good.
Well, welcome to the party again, Patrick. It's awesome. G Money. We got professional athletes all over the building, Harvard trained medical doctors. Who else do we have?
Yes, and we have Sandy Pierce with us from Fort Lauderdale, Osteo Strong, Sean. So she needs to know about all these incredible gentlemen here today. Yes, mother of 3, wife, nurse practitioner, and owner of an Osteo Strong. Please join me in welcoming Sandy Pierce to the Real Raw.
Let's hear for Sandy.
Thank you.
Well, Sandy on the cutting edge with Kyle and crew on the cutting edge of changing how people represent their osteo strength, their bone strength, their body strength. It's a privilege to have you here, Sandy.
Thank you so much, Sean. I had a pleasure. It was absolutely my pleasure to listen to you speak at convention. Thank you for being there. I really did appreciate that. Learned a lot.
Thank you. What was your biggest takeaway, Sandy?
Well, I mentioned earlier to the group, you briefly mentioned ecosystems and the importance of making sure that you're plugged into the correct ecosystems. And that is a term that was new to me. But you know, the formula, I'm really curious about the formula that you spoke about. You just gave us a little bit of a sneak peek. And so I was intrigued by that as well.
Well, thank you for that, Sandy. You guys were extraordinary. And what is your fun fact for us today?
Fun fact. Well, much like Nick, I did a little bit of modeling in my younger days. I did a lot of print work, and my face is plastered or was plastered all over Miami in the late 1990s for one of the local radio stations. So I was sort of their first spokesmodel. Not something that I'm very proud of, but it is funny and fun. And my husband makes fun of me for it all the time.
Professional athletes, Harvard trained doctors, models, changing the science of fitness and osteo strength. It's a hell of a day. Sandy, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
G Money.
Next, this man from Miami, Brett Kaufman, he loves salsa dancing. He sees the world in words. He's a copywriter, helping professionals and businesses find their authentic voices. Please join me in welcoming Brett Kaufman to the Real Raw.
Brett, how the heck are you doing today?
I'm doing well, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And what is your fun fact, my friend?
I guess that was my fun fact leading off, that salsa and bachata dancing is my favorite stress reliever to do.
Nice.
Yeah, because probably like a lot of us here, we have to think all the time, but during our day and when you dance, like, you can't think, you just have to feel everything. So it gets you out of your head and allows you just to be very present. So it's like kind of my form of meditation.
I love it. And what would you say is your greatest copywriting sort of, maybe micro distinction people wouldn't normally think about, or macro, like something that you'd be like, this is where you have to start with copywriting?
You have to become a method actor. You have to be able to not only feel exactly what the person you're writing to feels and thinks. So basically you consume everything you possibly can about that person. And my favorite quick tip that people can do is, if you're on sales calls, record it and transcribe it, because they'll give you the exact words that they use that they want in order to connect with you.
Love it. Excellent job, my friend. Welcome to the Real Raw, and appreciate you being here.
Looking forward to it.
Brett, G Money.
Joining us from Naples, originally New Jersey, Mr. Luis Leda. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, sir. Incredible story, and his why about what it meant to own a home and be a real estate superhero that has shaped his life into a speaker. He's an entrepreneur and a real estate, guru, CEO of Culture Estate Group. We are so glad you're here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Luis to the Real Raw. Luis, welcome to the party.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And what is your fun fact, sir?
My fun fact? My fun fact is, let me think. There's a lot of fun. Oh, you know what? My fun fact is I just did e-foiling 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of that.
What is that?
It's called an e-foil. It's like a surfboard, but it's electric power surfboard. It kind of glides right on top of the water. I don't know if you've ever seen these guys out there on the ocean. We just did that. So we do a lot of stuff like that locally to just try to create some content that's outside the norm for our brand.
Oh,
yeah, so
very cool
stuff like that.
I love it. I love out of the box, disruptive, positive vibrational activity. Checks all those boxes. So, brother, thank you for being here. Let's have some fun.
Thank you.
G Money.
Next, we have from Miami, Florida, Jamie Hinman. He's building a dynamic home loan business with Caliber Home Loans and has an extensive career in the mortgage business and has a deep expertise in navigating the ups and downs of a lot of different markets over the years. Please join me in welcoming Jamie Hinman to the Real Raw.
Jamie, welcome. And how about a fun fact on this Mastery Monday?
I've been trying to think of one, and I can't really think of one right now. But a fun fact: I used to be a dental tech before I got into the mortgage business, working on models for bridges and crowns.
Very nice. That's super cool. And how do you like the mortgage business now? And what's the vision and the mission for you?
I absolutely love what I do. I help individuals build wealth through real estate on a regular basis. And I help inspire and motivate and educate average Americans with some simple financial strategies that will help them just advance and be in a better place down the road. And it starts with home ownership. So I've been doing it for over 20 something years here in Miami, Florida. And I still enjoy it every single day.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. And my grandparents, and I'm a big fan of the book, The Millionaire Next Door. My grandparents never made more than $25,000 in a year in their life. My grandfather was blind, and by the way, I'm blind, guys. I'm not sure if we know that. And my grandparents, when they passed away, my grandmother died 3 years ago. They had a net worth of about $1 million, just from never having made more than 25 grand in a year, but in making the right strategic moves in terms of just their primary residence and having a second home. And it was an incredible life with not a lot of income. So thank you, what you're doing, brother, in the world to support people in achieving their American dream.
Absolutely. It's actually, I love that because it's one of the other points I talk about is how to build generational wealth. Generational wealth in America has been built through real estate. And those individuals who have the opportunity to start it for the first time have something that they can pass on to their kids, and their kids are going to start in a much better position than we started off on. And that's what motivates me every day.
Amen, brother. And as somebody who's been the byproduct of that, an incredible family, and I've continued that tradition in Long Beach Island, New Jersey. And we mentioned surfing before. I'm a blind guy and I have the privilege of surfing 81 days this year. Avid surfer, love it. And I love the energy of this entire group today. G Money, are we up to the influence sorceress?
One more extraordinary guest,
oh my God, this is an unbelievable day.
It's a huge party today.
Yes.
I know. From Miami, Florida, we have Mr. Ryan Leonard. He is building a robust business in financial services with Prudential, advising all kinds of clients on their financial futures, etc. Please join me in welcoming Ryan Leonard to the Real Raw, everyone.
Ryan, welcome to the party. And what is your fun fact, my friend?
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Fun fact, I played collegiate volleyball.
Nice. Where'd you play?
Sport, yeah. I played at a small school in Central Florida. Warner University, and then I transferred to Florida State.
Oh my goodness! Did you play at Florida State?
Yeah. Oh no, they didn't really have a collegiate team. It was
Gotcha.
more of a club team. But
Very cool.
it was still a great time.
Yeah, amazing, dude. Seminoles are in the house. Appreciate that. And brother, are you ready to have some fun today with these magical other folks?
Yeah, it seems like a good time. Looking forward to it.
Nice. Well, and by the way, volleyball, I think I understand this because my sister played in a very good high school team, in our area. You don't do you play a position? Or I know you rotate, but then do you kind of break into a kind of a standardized position of volleyball? I think you do, right? Or no?
That's a really good question. You do rotate, but you do have a standardized position. So my position was more up front. I'm a little bit taller and with a good vert. So I'm usually up close, but I'm usually staying towards the left or the right. So depending on who we have to block or what the positions are entailing, we usually rotate, but then we go back to our original spots when it comes to offense and defense. It can get very integral, especially indoor volleyball.
Yeah, so awesome. Love the athleticism. Quick fun fact, had the privilege of being on Richard Branson's island, Necker Island. Met somebody there who had her own private island called Buck Island nearby, ended up there. And her fiance was an Army Ranger, Special Forces, incredible, courageous things that he did. And somehow a super competitive, hyper aggressive, sort of let's go Zeus energy volleyball game broke out, and my brother co-founder Fernando Valencia ended up playing opposite Adam. We had kind of team Unblinded versus team Buck Island, and we won, and he was so pissed. But I would agree, and wonderful person, it was a lot of fun, but would you agree that spiking a volleyball in somebody's face, other than maybe hitting somebody in football or pinning somebody in wrestling, might be one of the most aggressive, assertive, dominant things you could do in an athletic event? Your thoughts?
Hands down, easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pure domination.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we had some fun in that game. Privilege of having you here. And now we're up to the Influence Sorceress. So let's move through this. This woman, who I am privileged and honored to call my co-host, started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old child. She was in business, going hello to yes at 8 years old, became a not 5, not 6, but 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing, progressed on to being the not number 5, not number 3, 4, or 2, but number 1 business broker in the state of Nevada at 24 years old as a woman, youngest ever, first woman ever in a male-dominated industry. Incredible achievement. And now is the co-host of Real Raw, is in the space of Unblinded, supporting people in training and learning the superpower of influence, what to do with it, how to get yourself to use it. The one, the only co-host, Bella Verita. Let's hear for Bella.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Bella Verita. What, Bella, is your amazing fun fact for this beautiful Mastery Monday?
Sean, I had so many fun facts today that intersected with so many people because one fun fact is one of my favorite things to do after a stressful day is dancing with my honey in hotel rooms. Love doing that. I also played volleyball in high school, not college because I didn't go to college, but I was a setter. So a position that I played, Sean Callaghan, was the setter, usually back left, back right. Because I'm very short, because I'm 5'3", Ryan. So all the short people always get to be the setters. And then now my fun favorite sport is, because I was taught to surf by this blind guy, taught me how to surf out here in Long Beach Island. Now one of my favorite sports is to go surfing. So those are all of my fun facts. And Sean Callaghan, when I'm not doing those things, I get to help people create more time, money, and magic with this little company called Unblinded. So, those are a few fun things that are going on in my world.
No, that is awesome, Bella. And thank you. It is an honor and a privilege, of course. Looking forward to getting back in the waves. Yes, we got to get there very soon. A little bit of healing to do. I had a little bit of a medical dynamic emerge, but we're getting back there soon. So Bella Verita, shall we get this party started?
Well, we kind of got this party started earlier, but now that you are here, we can definitely party with you.
Well, thank you for that. So Gina, we are honored and privileged to have you here. I will drop in on my fun fact. Is my mission in the world is to support people in achieving their freedom financially, time, energetically, the magic they want. People say that a lot, but I had the privilege of doing that at a very young age. I had no money in my family. I had no contacts, no connections. I built a 40-person law firm after achieving my dream job and quitting it because I saw that there was no pathway to me having the money, time, and freedom I wanted working for other people, at least not for the next 10 or 15 years. I built a 40-person law firm within 2 years of graduating from law school. I exited. I built the company out of my coaching school, and now I own a 100-plus person law firm, train and speak on stages all over the world, and I will have the privilege of speaking on Tony Robbins' stage as UPW emerges back live in about a week and a half. On that Friday, I will be taking the stage in Tony World for the 13th time, which is an honor and privilege. And we have our own event coming up the next weekend in Miami. So looking so forward to that. But G Money, mwah, love you and super grateful for you and all that you do and launching us each and every day.
Thank you. Ciao for now, everyone. Great meeting you. I will see you in the multiverse. Thank you, Sean.
See you
Bye,
in the
Bella.
multiverse.
Bye,
Bella,
Gina.
I don't know. This is what I think.
But Sean, wait, you didn't share your fun fact. What is your fun fact today?
My fun fact for today is that I'm a blind man that has taught a blind man how to win at carnival games that sighted people lose at consistently, throwing a softball into a basket.
That is true. I watched that happen. That is pretty fun.
Yes. So I would say I am the most consistent winner at that game imaginable. So, and blind people are like, sighted people are like, how is this happening? And yes, so it involves touch and backspin and all kinds of things. So yes, that would be my fun fact for today. Bella, who's going first?
Let's go with Mr. Rupert. I think he is ready to get this party started.
All right, Rupert, this is how this works. We're going hello to yes. So a yes could be, because people are like, I'm confused, I'm not sure when they first come on here. It's all good. But all we're talking about is a simple fundamental reality that whether you go to Harvard or you didn't graduate from high school, all of these places do not teach us that everything begins after yes, period. Our management, our marketing, our sales, our leadership, our recruiting, our fundraising, for-profit, not-for-profit, our making an NFL team, or getting into Harvard Medical School, it all begins after somebody says yes to us. So Bella will be any avatar that you like. She could be an ideal client. She could be somebody that you're trying to propose to dance on a stage or speak on a stage, a book deal, a movie deal, any yes that would matter to you in the world, strategic partnership, potential client, anything. Rupert, who would you like Bella to be that you're seeking a yes from?
Potential investor.
Amazing. Bella, you got some bucks, burning some holes in your pocket. Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. My name is Rupert Megnat from Burnout Game Ventures. How are you?
I am wonderful, Rupert. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic.
Thank you so much for calling. I only have a couple minutes. What can I do for you?
Well, I'll just go ahead and start by letting you know that at Burnout Game Ventures, we accelerate video game startups from 0 to sales in 6 months or less. Recently voted one of the top 50 over 50 in the global game industry. I'm a serial entrepreneur who has taught at 2 of the top game schools in the world. My team and I have decades of successful experience, entrepreneurial and gaming experience with multiple exits. And having generated billions in revenues for others, now it's our turn. Burnout Game Ventures is a venture builder for video games, where we accelerate game startups into sustainable high growth businesses, sharing in the revenues generated by the release and distribution of their products, which we publish. Our model is to generate a consistent source of small indie game base hits, like 5 to 10 products per title, with home runs providing, well, even more gravy. Our first 3 game clients have generated nearly 9 times the median downloads and 1/8 the development time at 5% of the cost.
Wow.
Our processes work. We have also one of the largest developer and advisor pools in the world, ready to make games and create high growth tech startups, of which our goal is to create 50. And we review hundreds of potential titles every year, and we curate 3 to 10, and we have dozens of product releases in scheduled over the next 24 months. Our next 3 titles, or our first 3 titles, generated nearly 200,000 customers via organic word of mouth expansion while bootstrapping the process.
So Rupert, this is all fantastic, and I love hearing about all this. But what can I do for you?
Well, right now we've raised.
I'm not quite sure how we ended up on a call, where you got my number. So definitely, yeah. What can I do for you?
Well, I was introduced to you by Dewey Cheatham and Howe from,
Okay.
and they're one of our investors, and we've raised over $500,000 so far from 10 investors, 40% of whom have reinvested. And while our revenues have been small, they've been consistent since our founding. So we're basically looking for additional investors to come along for the ride.
Got it. Got it. Well, I'm not so sure that gaming is, my area, but however, I do know a lot of people that have been interested in gaming. So, maybe there's a longer conversation that we can have, there, and maybe I can introduce you to some people.
That would be wonderful. I'd be more than happy to speak to anyone that you can refer. I'm also more than happy to provide you with whatever information or knowledge that you'd like to know about the game industry. It's mankind's #1 form of entertainment. So
that is what I hear, Rupert. I got to run right now, but I will definitely we will definitely connect, and I'll see what I can do for you.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to take your call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Rupert. Hey, Bella, I got a quick call for you. Yeah, it's Dewey Cheatham and Howe has an investment to buy some swampland in New York City for you.
I have been looking for swampland in New York City.
Okay, so just take the call. Rupert, Bella will be back. No, Rupert, awesome job.
It couldn't be a shoe store in New York City. That might have grabbed my attention a little bit more, but swampland I'll take.
There's plenty of swampland here in Orlando, trust me.
Yes. Rupert, excellent job, man. Very impressive stats and numbers. Really,
yes.
It was disruptive. Great job.
Thank you.
Nick, who would you like Bella to be, please?
A possible donor, as far as it's kind of investment, but it's more on the donation side.
All right, Bella.
Oh, you're not asking me for any organs or anything, right?
Yes.
No, not like that. It's for foundation purpose.
Bella, that cash is burning a hole in your pocket, and it might be a kidney. Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. My name is Nick Turnbull. I'm calling on behalf of Equip 21, which is a foundation that provides low-income sports teams with uniforms that can't afford them.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. And how did you get my number? What can I do for you?
I got your number from a mutual friend that said you may be interested. Said you played sports, so I thought this would be down your alley. We try to provide uniforms for low-income athletic teams that these kids can't normally pay for, and by doing that, it allows the kids to play with confidence. I don't know if you know, but a lot of kids don't participate in sports because they can't afford it. By us being able to provide uniforms for these kids, the registration fees actually drop, and they're able to afford playing. They don't have to look like amateurs when they play. I've seen kids wearing white T-shirts with numbers written in marker. And me being an athlete, it's important to me that the kids look like athletes and they want to play. I want to bring them back into the sports.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, our connection is not that great. But if I'm hearing you correctly, you are a former athlete, you're super passionate. A lot of kids are not able to play sports because they cannot afford uniforms, and you have a mission to provide sports uniforms to underprivileged kids so they can play sports. Did I get that?
Correct. So basically, we'll use football as an example. A typical registration for a football kid to play would be about $220. Half of that money is from sports uniforms to cover the cost of sports uniforms. So if we're able to cover the sports uniforms, now we're not down the registration to $110 instead of $210. So it allows a lot of the kids that can't participate to participate now because it's more affordable for them.
Gotcha. Well, I have 30 seconds and I got to run. So, where do we go from here?
Well, if it's something that you're interested in, we could send you the link to our website. You could look over it. You could donate to specific teams, specific sports, specific areas throughout the whole United States. And
Let's definitely connect, Nick. It definitely sounds like an incredible opportunity, and you're doing great work in the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, that's awesome, brother. So first of all, great job. And I am definitely interested in helping. So we'll talk more and getting to know each other. But I couldn't agree more as somebody who had such a privilege. I'm blind now, but I wasn't in high school. I wrestled, played baseball and football. And the dynamic of what athletics teaches us is so many people here today as professional athletes and other collegiate athletes that we have here, and high school athletes. What that does in life is incredible. And the difference that people feel when they could put a uniform on and can't is extraordinary. So Nick, thank you for the work you're doing in the world and for being here today.
Thank you.
And thank you.
And Nick, you should ask, because Sean played all kinds of sports, but you should ask him who he lost to in a wrestling match on Necker Island.
Unbelievable.
Okay, I need to know that.
Unbelievable. Bella,
you should ask him.
Nick, do not listen to this woman and her incredible ability to misportray facts. Yes, I did hit the water first. That is very, very true, Bella. So
and then he likes to add to the story so he doesn't have to admit defeat. You just heard who actually won the wrestling match. So Sean, we have a lot of judges here, so we should continue the show.
Yes, you are an amazing queen of deletion, dilution, distortion, Bella Verita.
How is that delete? You hit the water first. I didn't even go over. And then in the second match, we went over together. But in match one, you went over by yourself. How is that deletion, dilution, and distortion, mister?
Yes. Nick, can I just ask you a question? Are there worse things that you can do in life than lose to Bella Verita in wrestling? That's a pretty good idea. Would you agree?
That is yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't have. and then she likes to talk about it, so it makes it even worse.
Yeah. So Nick, who do you think won in the end?
Honestly,
how did you end in the win? How did you end in the win in the end if we both went over together the second time?
Because whose beach house are you in right now?
I'm in your beach house, but I still don't know what that has to do with wrestling.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay. I don't know who won.
Yeah,
it's a draw. It's a draw.
Yeah, it is a draw.
It is not a draw, Nick. I definitely won.
I think we all won. Yes.
Everyone won in their own mind.
Yeah.
So Bella, who are our judges? Like, we have a whole bunch. So let's go alternate back and forth, one at a time, starting Rupert, then Nick, please.
Yep. So Jamie, let's start your feedback for Rupert. So what this looks like is it's 30 seconds of feedback, something that he did great and wonderful, maybe one or two things that you can improve on, and then a score of 1 to 10, 1 being like, you couldn't run further from this person, 5 being like, yeah, maybe you might have a second conversation, and 10 being you would sit down at a gala all night and talk to this person because they are so interesting. So Jamie, your 30 seconds of feedback for Rupert.
All right, so Rupert, great information. You knew all the stats and the data of your business and your accomplishments. I'm not sure what the end goal of the conversation was. Was it to get you to say yes to something?
The end goal is to have you or have Bella basically say, yes, I'd like to know further how we can work with you.
Got it. All right. So listen, the information was good. I didn't, and you had it spot on, and that's great. I didn't hear a question for a yes answer from anyone. Like, hey, can we do something? That was the only thing that kind of left me wondering what the goal was.
But
was,
now
and your score for Rupert is?
That was 10 seconds away.
5.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Jamie.
So Jamie, thank you for that. Bella.
Brett, your feedback for Nick.
Yeah, Nick, I love the passion that you speak with. You can obviously tell you know exactly what to do, and you can feel that energy, which is awesome. I would have wanted to hear some more questions. I would have wanted to kind of dig into the background more, try to find some more commonalities on the call. But I felt like if I would have met you at an event, your energy would have carried me through that versus on the phone call where I can't see you and then feel that. It would be a little bit harder for me to connect that way. So the feedback would have been a solid 7 out of 10. In person, I would have bumped it up even a little bit higher, but on the phone, I just would want a little bit more questions to pique my interest and dig into my background.
Yeah. Excellent work. So we've had Jamie, Brett, Bella.
Lewis, your feedback for Rupert. Oh, I don't know where Lewis. So we'll go Patrick, your feedback for Rupert.
With the question or the statement, everything begins after yes. It's a commitment to a goal and having a vision in place. And so, again, it was stated before, you were very good with the numbers, statistics, but those numbers are really emotionless. And so I think it would be important to ask questions and find points of commonality, almost telling a story. I think, gaming is very technically driven and it's not necessarily personal. So I think it's important to either connect with the potential investor and build some level of emotionality, and then try to move them in a direction towards your product. I would say a 6.5. I mean, you have a nice foundation. The numbers are there, and the challenge is more the emotional piece to develop that further.
Nice. Thank you, Patrick. Awesome job. Bella?
Sandy, your feedback for Nick.
I'd have to agree with Patrick and Jamie. For me, I'll tell you the score. It was probably about 3.5 to 4. It was there was no emotion for me. You're very knowledgeable. You're an expert in your field, but I didn't get the sense of, well, why do you want me? I'm not sure I was understanding that. So it was just not, you didn't ask me enough questions as to why I should, why am I in the field that I'm in? So I don't know if you and I share any commonalities.
And was that feedback that you just gave for Rupert?
For Rupert, yes. I'm sorry. Was it about
okay?
Nick?
No problem. So your score for Rupert?
For Rupert, I would say it was 3.5 to 4.
All right, very good, Sandy. So thank you for that. We got Jamie, Brett, Patrick, Sandy, Bella.
Yep. And then next up we have Ryan. Your feedback for Nick.
I love the passion. I can obviously feel that you're very passionate about the cause. With the audio and the video, it kind of broke up a few of the statements, so I couldn't really hear. That's the only reason I'd probably give it around a 6. But I'm sure in person, obviously with displayed passion and emotion, it'd probably bump it up as well. But it was a great thing. I think also just having the end goal, what you want to get out of the investor call, whether it be a meeting or potential links, for all of us is something that can be beneficial.
And your score for him?
It was 7.
7. Awesome.
Nice.
And we have lost Lewis in the multiverse. And so since we have one amazing woman, Sandy, how about you also provide feedback for Nick?
Nick's, I heard a little bit more passion than I heard from Rupert. So that passion was conveyed to me. But again, I didn't get the reason as to why I should be involved. Why me? And what is it that he is looking from me? So I would say for him, the score, I would give it a little bit more score. I am a person that bases a lot of my relationships on energy. And so I connected with his why a little bit more. So I would say a 6.
Beautiful.
Nice. Well, thank you for that, Sandy. And Bella, despite the fact that I was in fighting for my life just 2.5 weeks ago, I have a weird feeling that you're still going to want to put my butt on the hot seat.
Yes, I love to put your butt on the hot seat because, you bring all of these people together, they get these phone calls and then they get invited to the show and they're like, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I've said yes. Everybody's shaking their head. And then, you come in and we have some fun. But I think because, you are the, wizard of influence that somebody here should get to put you on the hot seat.
All right, I accept, as I do each and every day here. Thank you, Bella Rita. And guys, I've been everything from President Biden to President Trump to selling lemonade to Bella could share a few more. But what do you think, Bella?
We had to convince a very, very about 65-year-old conservative New Jersey attorney on why he should go to Burning Man.
Yes,
Got him to say yes, by the way.
Well, we had to do that. So Bella, since we only have one woman participant today, what do you think if we let Sandy take a shot at this?
I think that would be fantastic. So Sandy, This is what it looks like. You get to come up with a scenario. So you can either choose this for yourself or you can pass it to somebody else here. But you get to come up with a scenario that Sean has to go from hello to yes on. So he's the person that is seeking the yes on any type of scenario. So it could be like, why someone would want to come to Osteo Strong. It could be, why they want to open an Osteo Strong franchise. It could be last seat on the plane. It could be why they should invest in Nick's football company or Rupert's gaming company, whatever it may be. But you get to set up the scenario, and we are going to watch him go from hello to yes. What do you think the scenario would be, or would you like to pass it?
If I say the scenario, do I have to be the person that is trying to give him the yes or no, or he's trying to?
No, you can actually, you get to pick anybody else. So you can throw any of your friends that you have made in the last 45 minutes right under the bus.
Awesome. I think we should keep it neutral, though. Is that okay if we just pick a neutral topic?
Sure.
Topic that none of us are related with?
Pick anything from political to business to anything. Marketing, selling, leading, recruiting, anything. Sandy, what do you got?
Okay. So I want to hear your version of trying to sell me a pen and why I should buy your pen. That's one that I'm sure all of us have heard. So I want to see your take on that. So try to sell me your pen. And I'm going to pass on the baton to Dr. Patrick.
Okay. So would you accept this, Dr. Patrick, that I would have the opportunity to sell you my pen?
Sure. I accept.
Okay. All right. So, and remember, this is Integra, so I'm going to add a micro element into this for purpose of integrity. Okay. So, Dr. Patrick, I'm super grateful that we had the opportunity to have a conversation today. I'm very, very thankful.
I am equally as thankful. Thanks for
having me. I know you're like crazy super busy. And one of the things that might come most to mind is, what the heck am I talking to some guy selling pens for? Which I understand, number one. But number two, can I just ask a couple quick things about you? I promise you we'll keep to our 3 minutes that you've very graciously allotted to me.
Sure. Ask away.
Yeah. So I understand you have an incredible background. Not only did you play linebacker at Nebraska during a time when the program was incredibly strong and on the national landscape, you get into Harvard Medical School, which I can't even begin to imagine the level of competitiveness for this dynamic. Like, what drives you, and what's the mission, and what are you up to in the world?
What drives me would be the ability to be the best that I can be in any given situation. It's the ability to give to others and to really be empowered and to bring a level of passion and commitment to the things that I do.
Yeah, and that like resonates at such a deep level of certainty, for me, Dr. Patrick. And if I could just ask this before I drop into, a couple of additional items, what is it that caused you to develop those beliefs? Like, was that from early childhood? Was that something you developed in high school, college? Where did this level of certainty, leadership, positive energy come from?
It was a combination of things, nature and nurture. So certainly my parents, my father in particular, had large involvement with that. Coaches from sports, family members, and certainly from failures. Not necessarily wanting to have those experiences again, and really making it a point to learn from those failures, from those experiences. So it's been a combination of things.
Oh, well, that's awesome. And thank you for sharing that. It's clear your leadership and the impacts that you're creating in the world. And final question. Outside of medicine, real quick, where else are you bringing forth your desire to create impact?
It really is in my ability to empower others. I'm writing a book. I love to be able to motivate individuals to optimize their health. So I try to embody that as much as I can and model that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And in the final moment or so, can I just drop into me and a little bit what I'm up to and where there may be intersections?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So I sell pens, and I've created a licensing agreement with a company named Unblinded. And what Unblinded stands for is the ability to cause people to see what they don't see, about how they could rise their financial abundance, their time and scale, like Michael Gerber talks about in the E-Myth, and the magic that could be brought about in life. And so we've created pens that bring people present to that reality. And the pens say, like, each segment of the pen, right? There's like 8 around the circle of a pen. They say leaders causing leaders to lead leaders. Journal, because we believe in journaling every single day. They say things like emotional rapport building. They say things like merging ecosystems. They say things like make the world an even greater place. And most importantly, it ends with we're all blind and just learning to see as like a flag in the ground statement for endless and continuous growth. So if there's any interest, in these, I'd love to leave them with you to think about. I know you're a physician and you're clearly not that interested in like what pen you use, but I think what makes these special and unique is they correlate to the concepts of leadership, impact, and most importantly, heart-centered, integrous growth. So is that something that you'd recommend that your office manager spend a little bit more time talking to me about, or anything else I can answer for you?
Absolutely. I love it. It is motivating, it's inspiring, and it definitely is consistent with the mission of the practice, my personal values, and the values that I'm looking to instill in employees. So I loved it.
Yeah, and we thanks.
As well as the practice.
Yeah, and thanks. And we could also personalize them for the practice of yours. So I'll talk to your office manager. Most importantly, I've been inspired by you, your story, and your success, doctor, and I look forward to continue our relationship.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it.
Out of roll. Okay, Dr. Patrick, how did I do as pen salesman?
That was great. That was great. I had actually a scenario in my mind where I would have approached it, but I love the time that you spent. The majority of the time was spent connecting to me and asking me questions, getting to know my background, what inspires me, what motivates me, and then taking that as a foundation to not necessarily the pen itself is a prop, if you will, but what you're selling is that connection, the emotionality, and the legacy building, the values, and the pen was just the vehicle to facilitate that. So I loved it. I thought it was great.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, sir. And Sandy, your scenario, thank you for that. How'd you feel about it?
That was pretty impressive. You sold me on that pen. And you left me wanting to hear more how you can customize it to my practice. So that was really good. That's a conversation that I would ask my my practice manager about. Hey, make sure you connect with this. I want to hear more about. So I like the way that you ran through it. You acknowledged him. First of all, you thanked him. You acknowledged him. You complimented his background, his why. So you really listened to him. Like you repeated some of the same things that he said to you, and you used that to hook. So that was really impressive. Thank you for that.
Thank you. It's an honor, and I value every word you said, maybe except the word hook, except the word hook. So Oprah Winfrey said that she held the microphone for 30,000 people because she said, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me. And when we authentically, we call it level 5 listening. We say there's 6 different levels of listening starting at 0. When we listen at level 5 to truly the heart of a human and what is relevant to them, and we authentically are present to it, magical things begin to happen. And I feel that in your energy, Sandy, very much. So thank you for that. Thank you. Belvrita, how was that for you?
Sean, I love how you interweave what we call the 4-12-4, the 4 steps, 4 energies, and 12 indispensable elements, and what Sandy and both Dr. Patrick both received from that. Because, as I sat here, I could feel how lucky like Dr. Patrick would be to have these pins from a very heart-centered, authentic place. And I was sitting next to you watching tears come down your face when Tony Robbins said, there's no one in the world that leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. And the fact that you are demonstrating that on this show in 3 minutes is absolutely spectacular. And you had a whole like crowd cheering. Like Jamie was like, you know, I thought Jamie thought you were like had scored the winning touchdown at the Super Bowl. He was like, you know, going crazy over here. So it was absolutely amazing.
Listen, but here's the key. Thank you. That's very kind of you, Bella, really. But talking to somebody like Dr. Patrick and everybody that's here today truly is an honor. I meant every word I said. For somebody to go and be a Division I college football player, to go on to play in the NFL, and then go to Harvard Medical School, it's ridiculous. That makes him a 0.0001%er at least. That's a real number, like 0.0001%. I could even go through the numbers. I will not for sake of time, in terms of achievement in the world. And it's just mind blowing. And it's an honor and a privilege to do that. So I meant every word I said to become like present to it. Same way with Sandy, a person that would create a franchise that would care as much as she does about what's happening in the world with people's health, and step into like an unknown and entrepreneurship and all the things, as well as all the people that are here today, will become like fully present to somebody's incredibly unique journey. It just shifts things. So thank you for that. So everybody, thank you again. Jamie, appreciate you being here so much. How was your time with us on the Real Raw?
It was more than what I thought it was going to be. I was very impressed. Been in sales my whole life. I hate that sell me a pen, sell me a pencil interview question. And that's why I was cheering you on, because when they first asked me that question, I would never even know how to approach it. And I would do much better now, but yeah, it was awesome, man. You just really drilled into what's important. You got to connect with somebody, find out what's their why, and then offer them something. And they buy because they say yes because they connected with you. They believe in what you said and who you are, and you did it really well in 3 minutes.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate you very much being here. Thank you. Brett, thank you so much for being here.
Brett had to leave, and Lewis is lost in the multiverse. I think Nick might be taking off here pretty soon as well.
Yeah, okay, cool. So Nick, thank you for being here. Great job today. Loved all the story, the heart. I love what you're doing for kids and life and career. How was your time with us here today, Nick?
You were on mute, Nick.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I love the time. I think just that one little exercise that I did, and then hearing you go as well, taught me a lot. I realize now that even when you were selling the pen, that I was emotionally invested before you even asked me, to do that. So that's when I went through it. That's something that I did not do. I didn't.
Nick, we have lost you.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I don't know where you lost me at.
No. We heard that you saying that you wanted to create more of an emotional connection, and that was a valuable insight for you.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, listen, brother, thank you so much for being here and for what you do in the world. And I look forward to learning more about what you're doing and building a great relationship.
Likewise here.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Ryan, thank you for being here, jumping into the judging seat for today. How was your time with us in the Real Raw, Ryan?
It was great. I appreciate the opportunity. It was not what I expected when I signed up, but it was great to see the approach from a personal connection rather than just trying to keep it very objective. So it was very interesting, very unique concept, and I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for everyone.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. We always talk about the vibrational energy of everything, every name, every word, every object, all of it. And when we hear words like pitching, hooking, closing, like think of the negative, like reaction to that. So what we stand for, integrity-based human influence, what to do with it and get yourself to use it, is the recreation of what integrous influence can really look like. So Ryan, thank you for participating in that and being one of more than 3,000 people that have been on the show since the beginning of COVID. So thank you. Dr. Patrick, awesome job. Truly appreciate you being here and all you've accomplished. How was your time with us today?
I loved it. Thank you for having me. It was not what I had expected. It certainly surpassed my expectations, and it
Thank you.
reinforced what I believe is important. And oftentimes we get so focused and caught up on the material things, which are essentially a byproduct or a reflection of something much greater and deeper. And so this pretty much reinforced that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Your leadership is present. So thank you. Sandy, great job. Thank you for the scenario. Thank you for the Integris dynamic. Congratulations on all your face being on a billboard all over the place back in the day, as your husband teased you about. But how was your time with us in the Raw Today?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to everything that you've said. And, you know, I know even more now what I have to work on. And so like the first time I heard you speak, this just opened my eyes even more to all the growth that I need to do in order to achieve my goal.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And that's our mission. Lots more to do. So thank you, Sandy. And Rupert, awesome job today. Courageous position to jump into as participant. Loved how on top of your game, your numbers you are. How was your time with us today, Rupert?
Oh, you're on mute, Rupert.
It was interesting. I appreciate it. I always like to get new perspectives on things. I must admit that I kind of feel like the contestant on The Voice who picked the wrong song to sing when I had a better one. But that's fine. I mean, it's you know, I'm just so immersed in capital raising and the people that I talk to, that's the kind of thing that they like to hear. And when I'm in a social situation, I have a social pitch that really lets people understand who I am and where I'm from and what I'm coming up with, and that works better in this type of a situation. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it very much, Rupert, as well. And just from all my heart, because I've been involved in capital raising and doing all the things, there is even the most allegedly logically minded, bottom line, number driven humans. I have an incredible story from when I was in federal court with a judge who I have the top jury verdict in the last decade in the state of Arizona. And Judge Campbell had an affirmative court rule against emotion in his courtroom. And he didn't crack a smile for 3.5 weeks in that trial. And he's an unbelievable judge. But in the end, he was still completely integriously, fully for justice. He was driven still by emotion. So just a thought, a lot more to talk about and unpack, but clearly you're a master, and thank you for being here today, Rupert.
Well, thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Belle Rita, final.
Ooh, final is, you know, it really is truly an honor and a privilege to be here every day and to come and do the show, because I learn something new every single time and get to be masterful every single time. And there is a formula. The team you'll see just dropped in the chat, the 4-12-4 that I spoke about earlier, it's in that guide. So you want to download that. And then someone on the team is going to reach out to you to, like, you know, to have a conversation about your money, time, and magic, because it really is, you know, this is not a one-stop shop. This is, you know, in service of everyone who is here. And just, you know, Sean, thank you for the opportunity to be here, be a part of the show, and just meet so many extraordinary people. So thank you.
Thank you. And we're coming to Miami for November 19, 2021. Hope to see you guys there. Appreciate everything and our money.
Well, really, you want to be there, because then you're going to have FOMO if you're not, because like all your other friends that are here on the screen, you know, might be there. So if you don't end up going, then you're like going to see them on Facebook and be like, oh, I should have gone. And then you're going to have FOMO and you don't want to have that. So definitely join us for the event and connect with everything there. Back to you, Sean. I just want the people to have FOMO. Like, you make it sound like, oh, like you can come, you cannot. But I know what it's like when you don't make it to an event and like all the cool kids are there and all your ideal clients are there, and then you don't make it and you see it on social media and then you're like, I should have gone. I didn't want that to happen to anyone here. So back to you.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Listen, our money, time, and magic is right there for all of us, that we seek, desire to impact the world. Challenges, we're all blind, Bella Rita.
And just learning to